So, get this. What if I told you there's a massive paradox right at the heart of the South African justice system? One that's costing taxpayers millions to keep people in jail, all over a debt that can be as little as 50 bucks. That's the absolutely wild story we're diving into today. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures this deep, painful contradiction we're about to unpack. A system that's supposed to be about justice, but, as you'll see, is doing something else entirely, at a staggering cost. At the very center of this whole mess is a single number, 2,600. Now, it's easy to hear that and just think of it as a statistic, but it's so much more. It represents thousands of real people, real lives, caught in a system that's just completely failing them. That's the number of people currently sitting in a prison cell waiting for their trial. And they haven't been convicted of anything. They're locked up for one single, almost unbelievable reason. Yep, you heard that right. They're in jail simply because they can't afford a bail payment of less than 1,000 Rand, which is roughly 50 US dollars. It just makes you wonder, how is this even possible? And what is the real cost of this? To really get our heads around this, we have to follow the money. We've got to look at the math, and trust me, this is where the logic of the entire system just completely unravels. Okay, so the whole point of bail is pretty simple, right? It's supposed to be a financial guarantee to the court that you'll show up for your trial date. But what happens when someone just flat out doesn't have the cash? Well, the state's response creates what is basically a financial black hole. So this is the amount the state is trying to get its hands on. Less than 1,000 Rand. For every single one of those 2,600 people, this relatively small sum of money is the only thing standing between them and freedom while they wait for their day in court. But here's the kicker. This is what it actually costs the taxpayer to keep just one of those individuals in a jail cell. 463 Rand per day. The cost of this inefficiency is almost half the price of freedom every single day. And this is where the math just gets completely absurd. I mean, look at this. By the end of day 2, just 2 days, the state has already spent more than 900 Rand just to secure a bail that was less than 1,000. By day 3, it's officially losing money. The system is spending more to keep someone locked up than the original bail amount it was trying to collect. It makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so financially, it's a disaster. That much is clear. But there has to be another reason, right? What about public safety? I mean, surely these people must be dangerous if we're keeping them behind bars. This is probably the most important question of all. Is this completely broken financial policy at least keeping the public safe from dangerous people? Well, the answer, and this comes from the very court system that set the bail in the first place, is a clear, definitive no. And that's not just an opinion. That's a legal determination that has already been made. See, before a judge grants bail, they assess the person. And for every single one of these individuals, the court found they are not charged with the most serious, violent crimes. They're not considered a threat to public safety, they are not a flight risk, and they're not going to interfere with the case. They have, officially, been deemed suitable for release. So what does this all mean? It means their being in jail has nothing to do with justice or safety. It is purely a wealth test. Your freedom isn't being decided by the rule of law. It's being decided by what's in your bank account. It's a system that effectively criminalizes poverty. And this deeply flawed approach doesn't just hurt the individuals who are locked up. It creates this huge, damaging ripple effect of failure that spreads throughout the entire justice system. It's really a vicious cycle. First, you have this massive financial waste, just draining public money that could be used for, well, anything else. This waste then directly contributes to the second problem. It makes our already dangerously overcrowded prisons even worse, making them more violent and harder to manage. And these two failures lead to the third and most tragic outcome, a profound human rights failure. You know, fundamentally, this whole practice just spits in the face of the concept innocent until proven guilty. Think about it. A person can lose their job, their home, their connections to their family, their life can be totally derailed, all while they are legally presumed to be innocent. The system is punishing people for being poor, and that punishment can cause lifelong damage. So we're left with this one big question. When a system spends more money to lock someone up than the bail it was trying to get, and when that person has already been legally declared safe for release, who is this system truly protecting? It's a paradox that doesn't just fail on a financial level, it fails the very idea of justice it's supposed to represent.